A bit over a year ago, I started playing Runescape 3 for the first time ever with a simple goal, seeing how the world of Gielinor evolved through every update in order of its release date, with the limited skills and gear choices available at this point. All without relying on guides, just with my knowledge from playing old school Runescape. This is Timeliner. Welcome to the year of 2005. Potatoes. Oh, we eating good tonight. On the 11th of July 2005, Farming released as the 21st skill of Runescape. Although it has only been 5 months since the last new skill, it feels like an eternity ago. Or maybe that is because I am currently locked in Slayer and have never trained Runecraft so far, but alas. Farming finally gives us an opportunity to speed up Earthlore for those who do not wish to rely on trade. Although with our pitiful level and 0 seed supply, this is still a bit off. Come on, Onions, give me that level up. A bit closer to my goal of... well, I haven't really thought about that yet. Maybe we'll take a look at how the skill was back in 2005 first, as quite a few things were different. First of all, did you know that farming was the first skill that had gotten its own login screen? Neat, huh? Furthermore, it wasn't even supposed to come out like this, but was originally planned as part of a construction skill. Kinda glad they split it up, it would have been quite overloaded. The go-to way to level it back then wasn't even what I'm currently doing, but instead of waiting for seeds to grow, you could just rip them right back out and plant new seeds, granting some XP but skipping the wait time. Couldn't find the update when that was changed, but it was probably something undocumented very fast. Anyway, we are doing it wrong again. Putting compost upon a seed? Disgusting behavior. The right and only way back then was to first put on compost and then the seed. This was only changed in 2017. Oh, hold on. 2017? You're joking? 12 years of tough luck if you messed up the order? Ugh. Even old school got that earlier. It's always amazing to see how late such things came into the game. Anyhow, I relish in that change. Give me my well-deserved additional crops. After that, this skill was quiet for a long time, just running around between the few available patches, composting, seeding and harvesting. The odd new allotments and seeds popping up here and there, but mostly graphical upgrades. And this small level 120 farming update, but that's also probably very minor. What really stood out to me, however, was realizing that my crops simply never die. And no, I did not pay protection. But on November 7th, 2022, crops forgot how to die. Absolutely crazy change. My limited seed supply, I appreciate that greatly, but man does it feel weird to only see deceased crops. Oh, always healthy ones as I planted marigold to protect my valuable tomatoes. Ethically acquired, of course. And with level 30, I think it's time to move away from the fields for now. Maybe we outrun here or there in the future, but it's time to start with some herb runs soon. Also, the timing of the skill couldn't have been more perfect, as just 2 days prior, Zezima was the first player to max all available skills by hitting 99 Slayer after just over 5 months after that skill's release, to hit 1980 total level. But now, let us jump back? Yep, that's right. For some strange reason, I completely missed the content update from June. Alongside some Runecraft changes, there was also a mini-quest introduced. A mysterious wizard of the evil Lord Zamorak might be able to show us a new method of crafting runes. Spicy. But to get more details, we have to meet him back in Varrock. Why even am I out here in the first place then? But fine. What's the matter? Apparently, he is quite mad that the Sardodominus wizards keep the knowledge of teleporting to the rune essence mines to himself, as they blame them for the destruction of a wizard's tower. Since we found out in the reworked rune mystery quest that Zamorak was indeed not responsible, I think it's fair to help them. And the quest tells us to do so, so our hands are tied. To reverse engineer the spell, we just need to carry this orb and get teleported to the rune essence mine from 3 different places. 1, 2, 3, and it's done. There you go. Ooh, 1000 Runecraft XP. I'll take that. 5 levels, let's go. Additionally, he shares with us some knowledge about the Abyss, a strange dimension used for teleportation magic. And they found a place that is connected with all the runecrafting altars. So now, back in the wilderness, the mage will just teleport us there. What? I literally just talked with you. What kind of games are you playing at? Need to talk with you in Varrock. Yeah, right. Okay, let's hear it. Really? That was all. Just telling me this trip might be dangerous. Okay. Fine. Now, work your magic, please. Yeah, thanks. And there we are. A quick way to all altars. Earth seems to be the highest level available to us right now, so Earth Runes it is. And another level. Perfect. Time to shelve this guild for another couple of years. Now let us really move forward. 8 days after the release of Farming, the Plague City quest series continues. So far, we've uncovered a fake plague in Ador, created by King Lathas, who tricked us into killing his brother's Tyrus, who made us watch his brother fall victim to catapult accident. And afterwards, completely unrelated to that, we moved the burial site of Gladial to her husband's tomb. But now the journey continues in quest number 84, Mournings End Part I. The very first quest that got labeled as a multi-part series. Let's check it out. I'm grateful to not having to run through the underground pass anymore, but man, even with the run energy changes, this takes forever. Hello there again, Elunet or Elund. What do you have for me today? Finally, access to the village of... Letya, sue me, I don't speak Welsh. Anyhow, Ironman, the elf who originally informed us about our mishap with King Tyrus, has concerning news about an increasing number of mourners entering Ador, and his ever-increasing meth addiction. Man, you look rough. To find out why all these mourners are there, we need to infiltrate their headquarters in Ardi. We'll take a look at the city later, but cherish in the fact that we finally got a teleport crystal to bring us back here at any time. Just one last run to the mountain pass to kindly ask one of the mourners to lend us the clothes. Ooh, comes with an order that should grant us passage as well. Death Guard, what an innocent sounding name. Unfortunately, some of the clothing were damaged and need repairs before we can complete our outfit. There ought to be an elven tailor in Letya. Easy, just some silk and bear fur for the trousers, and for the top, nothing. Maybe we'll just have to wash out these odd red stains. Water doesn't seem to be enough, however. Well, I'll think about that while grabbing the other things. Silk and fur, done. That wasn't really a lot of time to think, but... I remember a little while ago we had to steal some dirty rags from a druid who was washing clothes. Maybe he's got some cleaners we can borrow. How nice, he doesn't mind us just taking some behind his back. Of course, we cannot use this giant bucket of water to clean it. No. We first have to fill a smaller one and then we can wash our clothes. That makes sense. So then, that's the complete mourner's outfit. Creepy. And fitting right in. So let's see. Ah, trapdoor. Downstairs is always where the evil stuff's at. Talk about a two-class society. Single bed and a chest while these guys sleep in bunks in the common room? Huh. But we're here to infiltrate. And what better place to start when reporting to the head mourner? Let's act stupid. That always works. Alright, very chatty guy. Telling us the mourners are here to prepare the arrival for some dark lord. And using King Lathas all the same. Planning to backstab him the moment he's no longer useful. And recently there has been a big discovery, leading to this increased mourner activity. What that discovery is? He tells us not. First we need to prove our mettle. Sure can do, what you need, I'm pretty morally flexible. Coloring sheep so the population always thinks about the plague? Boy, I wonder what idiot would fall for something like that. But alright. Just walking up with a bucket of paint to the sheep would be way too obvious, however. Instead, a gnomish device capable of shooting balloons of paint will do the trick. Unfortunately, it is broken and we're out of spare parts. Luckily, however, they captured a gnome who should be able to fix it. We'll just kindly ask him for technical assistance. Hello, sir. Please fix this thingy. Before he can get to work, he needs some motivation, in the form of toad crunchies and having his feet tickled. Not the weirdest request we've heard. Let's see what we can do about that. First stop, Gnome Stronghold. Toad crunchies surely must come out of their state-of-the-art kitchen that clearly passes every health and safety standard. But not sold. Instead, we have to make some ourselves. Alright. Go into the tray, heat, add some legs, add spice, bake and sprinkle with some herbs. Et voila! Food, ready for consumption. To properly tickle the guy, we grab a feather and that should be all. Indeed it is. And all he needs to fix the device is some lever and a magic lock. Good thing we already have that woodcutting requirement out of the way, so I'll just jump a few minutes ahead. And that is our fixed device. Time to paint for sheep, but first we need some ammo. The head mourner mentioned something about fat green balls. Phrasing. Well, not too long ago we had to hunt some of these chompies. Probably the best bet for ammo. This doesn't quite work as expected. Missing the paint, of course. Good thing the tailor and Letya has pretty much all colors in stock. What do you mean nothing interesting happens? Hold on, you need to add the color to the bellows? Well, at least we can release and recatch them. Yep, that's a red toad. Now for the rest. Hey, wait! Fine, back to the swamp it is. And that should do it. Now for the action. Standing here completely innocuous in our Plague Doctor outfit and a grenade launcher right next to the sheep. Nobody would ever think we are up to some mischief. Holy hell. Of all the things I wanted to see changed, it was these janky interfaces. Alright, let's slowly search for the sheep. Not gonna lie, I didn't remember that one to be so painful, but finally there's a sheep inside. Fire in the hole! What? One shot changes all of them? Was this always the case? Well, I'm not complaining. There are more groups up ahead. Oh, come on, they're just completely inside. Good thing we've got 4 shots. What? Well, that was a misclick, but the first 3 are completely yes. Fine, let's do the rest and come back here. Easy first try. Here we go again. Gobi. Finally. First try you didn't see anything about me missing. Forget that. Now then, Head Mourner, seeing as we did so well, mind telling us what you're really doing here, now that we are friends and all? This dark corner here is the perfect spot to reveal some secrets. What? One small task is not enough to earn your trust? Oh, I'm insulted. But fine, what else? Apparently some prankster managed to give all of them food poisoning not too long ago. I wonder who that might have been. Anyhow, he wants to know what exactly happened, and for us to procure the same poison to spike the local food supplies, as nobody has fallen ill in the plague-ridden town for a while. Sure can do. First we grab the culprit, and then talk with our favorite chemist to turn it into a potent poison. Hey, Elena. Long time no see. Don't mind the mask. I need a bit of a favor. No worries though. I just have to poison some innocent, oppressed citizens. That was mildly convincing, but she's willing to help. First we need to mash up a large batch of rotten apples to get enough toxin. Dissolve it into a liquid so we can easily pour it over the food stash. Some nectar, same as during regicide, should do the trick. Then reduce the non-toxin parts by straining and heating it to leave us with some powder to spike the food with. Alright, sounds easy enough. Furthermore, he points us to an abandoned apple orchard nearby to start. No animation, but a barrel full of mushed, rotten apples. So glad to have that teleport. Makes my way back here so much smoother now. Somewhat at least. This teleport node would be a godsend, but where's the fun in that? Where's the Barrow of Tar, and then distill it into the Nectar again. Combine. And now we sieve out the solids, and just gently apply some heat. Ooh, white powder. I trust this is what Elena wanted. Look at these unattended food supplies. They are basically begging to be sabotaged. So then, evil guy. I've poisoned the town. Now tell me what you're doing here. Finally! Apparently they found some sort of ancient temple that gives them access to very powerful magic. But the temple is swamped by evil beasts, eating away at their workers, so we need to get more. And we will hear more about that once they've made a spare key to the excavation site. I figure this will take about 3 months or so. But that is quest completed. A healthy dose of hit points and thieving XP for another very unchanged quest. Pretty much just some typos and the rewards were turned into lamps. And with that, we leave the 19th of July behind us, moving ahead 1 week to the 26th, receiving a continuation of the Dwarf storyline. Last time we helped him rebuild a statue of a founding father, replacing his image by that of one of the ruling consortium, angering the Red X company. Now Veldaban, the commander of the Blackguard, needs our help once more, as the Red X have left town. Fearing retaliation, he wants us to investigate what we're up against, in quest number 85. The Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf. Our starting point is some drunken fool, rambling about the Red X company and kebabs. Perhaps he has seen something terrible that has traumatized him. We'll check it out. Lovely place, but he is just talking nonsense. But maybe some beer will clear his mind and he tells us more about what he has seen. Unfortunately, the stale old ale will not do. Instead of pint of Kelder Stout is needed. And the stout is so rare that no bar sells it. Instead we have to brew our own, from almost equally rare Kelder seeds. Great to see that farming became a quest requirement right away. Fortunately, he carries one of the 4 seeds we need, and some drunken friends of his might hold the others. The first is not even a drunkard, but the owner of a pub in town, who values our efforts and grants us the second seed for free. The next, however, is a bit less generous. He'll give us one in exchange for a flyer to Bob's X shop. Alright, this one stumped me for quite a while. Not just why in the world he would request a flyer to a shop he knows about, but where to actually get one. I checked everywhere in Lumbridge but found no hints, so after quite a while I turned to the internet for help, as we all do. Turns out there is a list of random items and we got pretty much the only one that I could not figure out. A rare random drop from imps or barbarians. I mean seriously, who knows about that? While we're near Ardi, let's check out on the Drunken Dwarf engineer who gave us the plans for the multi-cannon and adjustments to shoot a human out of it. He is so kind to lend us a seed. We just have to remember to give him back one once we're done with it. Very nice. That's all of them. Now we'll just plant it here in the shades of a mountain cave and wait.
2 hours later.
Success. I don't know how to turn that into a brew, but maybe one of the barkeepers does. No dialogue option. How odd. Ooh, what do we have here? A brewing setup and a helpful brewmaster. How convenient. Alright, this sounds easy. Just add water, cook barley, ale yeast and our Kelder hops into this vat. Maybe I am just completely blind, but for the life of me I couldn't find a single range in the city. Had to travel all the way over to Varrock to get to one and roast my barley. Sucks for this innocent bystander, but what are you gonna do? Now everything into the vat, and we wait.
2 hours later.
1 pint of Kelder brew. Seems like an awful amount of work to get one rambling drunken idiot talking, but here we go. Bottoms up, make this worth it. And in turn we get more random rambling about seeing red axes and pink dragons in an abandoned mine shaft to the south of here. Well, at least something to go off on. The card conductor, however, refuses to open up a way for us, so we'll have to ask our boss for help. Surprisingly, he didn't want to be paid in like 5 copperas this time around. Just straight up helping us. Almost like this is how it's supposed to go. We're doing them a favor after all. Alright, random stuff in the inventory, no gear, no food, no helmet. We are ready to go on an adventure. Whee! And as like all the kebabs, they walk in the line, I tell you. And was Ray, what? Quest completed? I didn't do anything. But alright. Fun to notice some free XP. What an odd experience. Bit of an abrupt ending. But, suppose that was it? Didn't find anything. Really don't know what the fuss is about with the Red X. There was nothing going on, besides some plans to raise the secret arm, serve a whole lot of kebabs, I mean. Moving on from that nonsense about ogres and dwarfs teaming up, we are graced with another mini-quest. Again, unnumbered, as all mini-quests are. But it tells us in advance to bring our Ghostspeak amulet and Ring of Visibility to talk with his roaming shade by Gladiel's tomb. He's telling us a sad tale about how he was cursed long ago after managing to find the god staff of Armadillo. But right as he was on his way to his lord Zaradomin, he was ambushed by some thief. Soon after, he was forced to roam the world as a ghost for all eternity. Sad. Anyhow, that staff you mentioned, that sounds like valuable and powerful. You don't happen to know where it might be right now, do you? You do? Oh, that's convenient. Some guy named Renard stole it and joined his fellow bandit friends in the Canadian desert. Strange how often these guys come up when we're dealing with some ancient gods. State your reasons for stealing the stuff of Armadillo, or I'll leave you alone again. Apparently, he had no clue what he was stealing, just that it appeared valuable. Tough luck. Immediately upon seeing it, however, its worth was clear, and that one god, whose name he dares not speak, would greatly appreciate this weapon and reward him handsomely. Didn't turn out too well, did it? Renard did send a messenger to one of his generals, Zamorak, who we now know to be a god himself, but fears the messenger, Karim, betrayed him. Last he heard, this Karim guy is somewhere at the end of the lava maze. The lovely wilderness updates, where it now swarms with dangerous enemies. Damn, the Abyssal Demon design is so sick here, not gonna lie. And that's the maze. Should be at the end. Whew, these Ripper demons don't seem too friendly. Luckily didn't aggro. What is his damage? Close the door! Close the door! What? What is this? Whew, that was close. Alright, no stupid admiring from afar this time around. Let's just run past them while they're away. What a relief. Now then, Karim, did you happen to backstab the guy who murdered this other guy over the staff of Armadillo? Well, he's got a bit of a different point of view, telling us that the trade with Zamorak went through as planned and everyone got paid. But there was a Zaradominist spy named Lenissa amongst them who... Help! Pray! Eat! What? That's seriously... That is just BM. 1500 coins? What a ripoff. Now then, where were we? Oh, the whole dialogue again. Please just jump to the relevant part. You said something about the spy? Well, he doesn't know too much more. Just that she apparently is a big fan of ball games. Let's check out the happy, murderous gnome ball matches to see if we can find her there. There she is, confirming she was spying upon this unnamed god for Zaradomin. As soon as she heard of the stuff of Armadillo, she knew that if the weapons would fall into his hand, he would have the power to cast away all other gods. So she immediately told her comrade Dalek to relay this information to Zaradomin. But something must have gone wrong along the way. This is turning into quite the goose chase. There can't be too many left, right? She only knows that Dalek likes to party. So, We'll once again visit the happiest place in Gielinor. Huh, it's my happy place? But apparently not for everyone. Out of my way, Johnny. This looks more like it. So, where did you mess up in this chain of backstabbing and betrayals? Oh, he actually messed up big. By giving that weapon to Zamorak on purpose, hoping that would lead to an overthrow attempt against the Empty Lord. Didn't work out too well, did it? His only idea on who knows what happened with the staff in Zamorak's possession would be his highest ranking human general, Vigora, down in the ruins beneath Edgewell. I swear this better be the last one. Stand and deliver, Zamorakian filth. What did you... Hey, I'm talking here. Sorry about that. So, what did you... Hey, stop that. Huh. Alright. We don't have enough time to go through this dialogue in one go, so I'll spam spacebar through it and then read it later. Please. Oh, damn, that was already quest completed. Oh well, as it turns out, Dalak was right. Zamorak did try to overthrow this Empty Lord, even striking him down with the staff. But in a final death rattle, they heard a curse to all those who had helped Zamorak in his victory. Ah, so intended or not, that's why all these guys were turned into ghosts. This action, however, alerted the other gods, who swiftly fell upon them, banishing Zamorak for killing one of them, even if they were enemies. And that is all that he knows. And finally wrapping up his quest, giving us the last piece of a set of ghostly robes, that each of the previous cursed ones gave us one a part of. Spooky. Curiously, while we never say the name of his Empty Lord, it has always been called the Curse of Zaros, while in Old School, it later got renamed to the Curse of the Empty Lord. Aside from that, this quest seems to be completely the same in both versions, and just the same as how it released back then. I cannot wait to really delve into all these god stuff, since Old School purposely did not want to fill in too many blanks. This will be really completely new ground for me. And now I believe we have just enough time to take a glance at some very minor updates. On the 1st of August, the Waterbuff Isle enlarged the Fremenic region, giving us a new place to collect snapegrass and slay Dagonoths. Not the kings behind the store, however. They will follow in a couple more months. But we can enjoy the improved layout of these fences up here to make the way shorter. Out of pure coincidence, this update came on the exact same day that compost could be added onto already planted crops. What are the chances? Until more meaningful changes apply to us, why not keep busy with some good old-fashioned Karamta jankiness? That's right, on the 9th of August, the Taibo One-Eyed cleanup minigame released. The local population wants to reinforce their village against the cruel jungle, tasking us with removing plants that grow too close, killing dangerous beasts, and repairing their fences. All in turn for some lousy sticks or a big chase item, a gout tuber. Yep, the things you do for an achievement diary. Hey, hold on. This won't be out for another 2 years. We are getting scammed.